Aquaba. Welcome back to Afro-Mystical Stories. Once again, I'm Nee. Let's go back to our story. In part 1, Obodai encountered the ancient spirits that roamed the streets at midnight. It was a horrible and dangerous experience. Let's continue with part 2. The words echoed in Obodai's ears like distant thunder. "They are the forgotten ones. They are the consequences of ancient spells that went wrong." Auntie Essie takes him to her kiosk then and closes all the windows and the door. Obodai sits on a worn stool, sweat glistening on his brow. Auntie Essie stands by the window, staring into the dark. "What does that mean?" he asked, his throat dry and hoarse. Auntie Essie didn't answer immediately. She just stared out of the window, eyes wide, lips trembling slightly. They were once people, long ago, traders, wanderers, beggars, king, but they were left behind by time itself, forgotten by their families, by their ancestors, even by death. You think they're evil? Wait till you encounter their leader himself. But what do they want with me? Auntie Essie finally turned to him, her eyes full of something worse than fear, pity. They're hungry, Obodai. Hungry for remembrance. They crave reverence. Fear, even hatred. Because at least it means someone knows they exist, crave to be revered. They feed on the souls of people who doubt their very existence and trap their souls in this endless cycle too. They normally don't reveal themselves, but your unbelief is palpable and they want to teach you a lesson. That night after returning home, sleep itself bolted away from Obodai's eyelids in chariots manned by fear. He lies on his mat, eyes wide open. Fear clutches him like a cold hand. He was scared to shut his eyes. He couldn't muster the courage to call his parents to inform them about his near-death experience that came from the encounter with the Ancient Ones. His attempt to hold his eyes open didn't last long as the spirits of sleep lathered him with the sweet potion of comfort. Soon he fell into a deep slumber. In his dream, he noticed that Osu's streets felt different. It looks abandoned. A gentle, menacing wind blows dust past Obodai's frying stand. Where there used to be music blaring from speakers and the occasional laughter of street vendors, now there was silence, thick, oppressive, unnatural. Obodai set up his frying pan, the oil bubbling like tiny voices screaming under the surface. From the edges of the darkness, figures began to emerge. Faint at first, like smoke forming into people. Thin, bony, with hollow eyes that blinked out of sync with reality. Feed us, remember us, feed us, remember us, feed us, remember us, feed us, remember us. As the figure, incessantly repeated these words, his limbs began to grow unnaturally and his figure grew monstrously. Honestly, even the tallest story building looked tiny in comparison. Obodai gasps, immediately stirred from his sleep, drenched in sweat. Desperate for some answers, Obodai found himself at the door of Elder Odoi, the oldest man in the neighborhood. The elder's compound smelled of dried bitter herbs and sun-dried animal parts. Elder Kojo sat cross-legged as he lazily weaves his torn fishing net as though death itself had forgotten him. "You shouldn't have set up at that spot," the elder murmured before Obodai could even speak. "That place is an old crossroads, the boundary between this world and the next." Obodai's voice was barely a whisper. "What can I do to stop them?" The old man smiled, revealing gums blackened by decades of chewing cola nuts and palm kernels. "You can't stop them, but you might be able to bargain with them." "How?" he asked. "With what they crave most." The elder answered. "And what's that?" Obodai retorted. Elder Kojo's voice dropped low. "Appellations. They want to be acknowledged. What you need is 6 pieces of the old currency coins and a calabash full of water, or, if you prefer, akpatishie. Then you head back to the same crossroad and, well, you acknowledge their existence. If you don't want to shout and risk raising suspicion, you can just let them know you respect their need to walk these paths and that you won't doubt them anymore. Instead, you'll let them have the street to roam freely. Mention names as you pour libations, and the owners of those names will leave you be. After the last name, throw the coins behind you and run. Don't look back, don't walk, don't saunter, run." The following night comes and, The wind howls violently as Obodai stands alone in the dark, gripping a calabash of water and 6 worn-out coins he got from his mother. He holds up his list, shaking, the list he carefully curated with the help of Elder Obodai. A list of names, those he remembered from old stories, ancestors, forgotten traders from the market, old beggars he'd seen but never spoken to. When the shadows came, hundreds of them now forming a thick crowd that swallowed the street, Obodai spoke. "I remember you. I call you by name, I acknowledge you." One by one, the shadows made themselves visible again, and just as quickly as they appeared, they shiver and dissolve like thin paper burning to nothingness. But the last figure, the one with the cracked lips and bloody teeth, and that weird lilt with limbs twisting maniacally, did not shiver. "I have no name, none that is known to mere mortals. Give me yours." His voice thundered through the silent streets. Obodai grips the calabash tightly, remembering what Elder Obodai told him. Obodai whirls, flings the coins backward, and takes off running like his life depends on it. Leaving the monstrous figure is shrieking and wailing behind him. Like a wounded animal. Let me give you time to catch your breath, that was intense. Join me for the final part of this story, and please kindly remember to subscribe, like and share this video, as it'll give me the opportunity to make even better ones in the future. I hope you were captivated and enjoyed part 2. Leave your comments and suggestions in the comments section. I will love to read your feedbacks, remember. I love you all. Stay safe.